Okay guys, here we go. So, sorry it's been so long since my last video. Basically I've had quite a lot on. I had to retrain as a swimming teacher so that hopefully I can make a little bit more money. But on the plus side, that's enabled me to get a decent microphone and a decent PC. So hopefully now I'm going to be able to make a lot more of these videos at a better, higher quality. And I've also been able to order my waster sword, which is coming. So I'm going to be able to start practicing and start making videos with that too. So anyway, on to the video. This is a video about who is the best swordsman in the Game of Thrones universe. And by that I mean the person who uses, well, probably the person who uses the least bad techniques. And by that I mean the swordsman who's using techniques that would be viable to use in a real life situation or that aren't easily defeatable by real life techniques. So kind of what I'm looking out for is any overly spinny moves, any crazy footwork that it would be easy just to catch somebody off balance, any hard hitters. So I think it's called a buffle in fencing. I don't know if my pronunciation's wrong, but somebody who just hits hard to compensate for the lack of proper technique. I'm looking for anyone who's just clearly attacking a sword as opposed to aiming to hit the other person, just clearly attacking the sword. So yeah, obviously Game of Thrones is a TV show. It's for fun. It's for entertainment purposes. They've not made it to have perfectly accurate fighting. They've made it to look great. And it does. I love Game of Thrones. This isn't about who's the best lore-wise. I know Jaime Lannister, people all talk about how great he is, or it's not going to be just because a character is, everyone goes on about how good they are. It doesn't mean they are showing the most useful techniques or what would be the most useful techniques in a real life situation. Okay, so let's get down to it. Okay, first off we have Jaime. Was going to do Ned, but Ned is dead. But I'll show you some of Ned. He is guilty of, here he is trying to attack nothing. He does a spin there. So yeah, on to Jaime. Here they are both together in the bind. They both do nothing with it here. You could hit with the pommel or with the crossguard when you're in this position. You see this a lot in movies, but neither of them take advantage of this here. Just nothing happens. I hate this in movies. Here's Jaime with Brienne. Some terrible footwork here. It would be easy to slip over or to fall or to be pushed off balance. You've sort of got some binding and winding going on here, but not really properly, and neither of them take advantage of it. Neither of them use it. Here's Jaime wildly swinging at the air for no reason, but after that fight he loses his hand, so I guess Jaime's out. Here's onto Brienne, and here she is. Here she is fighting Hound. I love that Brienne uses whatever she's got in her arsenal, so there she punches him, but of course he punches her back. This is what she's mainly guilty of, spins. She spins 1, 2, 3 times in that finisher move, and that's just too much. So onto the Hound. The Hound is the definition of a buffle. He just is a hard hitter. A lot of poor technique that he's making up for with just brute strength.
Someone is
going to die for some chickens. I actually find it less annoying when the Hound is doing what he does, because he's just this kind of hard-hitting character. At least he doesn't do too many spins or fancy things. He's not as bad as his brother is here, who's an absolute, he just heavy hits everything. He's terrible. Here's Bronn. Bronn just seems to dodge most of the moves in this attack. He doesn't really get involved much. I love that he does this though. He kills this guy by stabbing in between the armor, which is great. You would have actually had to have done that.
You don't fight with honor.
No. He did.
Here he is doing some half swording, which is great. This is the prize for the worst fighter in the Game of Thrones. He spins his sword, he pulls his sword all the way back the whole fight. Yeah, he deserves to die, this guy. He telegraphs his moves the whole fight. It's hard to judge Barristan on account of he dies so quickly. It's difficult to judge this guy. He's not bad. Here's Jorah. Doing some half swording here, which is great. This fight's great because it's a great demonstration of why it's important to wear armour. Look at that, just catches the blade, no damage at all, and he's done. I like Jorah's footwork. He has quite a good low stance. He holds the sword in quite tight to his body. He's a little bit less fancy until this fight, which he's just all over the place in this longer fight, and he ends it with that ridiculous roll move. Here's Jon Snow. I'm not going to be talking about his hammer technique, which is impeccable. He's quite flashy. He throws his sword around a bit too much, but mostly there isn't enough room to judge yet. Surprisingly, Jon Snow really hasn't been in that many fights, and when he is, they're normally over quite quick, or he spends a lot of time losing his sword. So he's definitely tough to judge. So after all that, I'd have to say my overall winner is Ser Jorah. He wears usable armour, he has a nice low stance, he keeps the sword in tight, he doesn't use too many spinning moves, he doesn't do anything too ridiculous, at least not until that last fight. And overall, yeah, I'd say he, to me, seems to show techniques that would be the most usable in a real life situation. Thanks very much for watching, guys. See you again soon.